This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. These are 6 quick private equity updates for listeners. First, the Chanel billionaire's family has founded his own $110 million private equity firm. And it just goes to the adage that everybody at some point wants to get into the private equity business for better or for worse. Second, Ares Capital keeps expanding, keeps looking to buy and consolidate with other alternative asset providers. Fascinating, again, the growth of Ares Capital and how well they've done. There are multiple lines of alternative assets. The third story is sort of the counter to the first story about Chanel billionaire's son building a $110 million private equity firm. The Wall Street Journal reports today how many pension funds, endowment funds allocated heavily into private equity the last several years. We'll have a separate podcast on this. And now we're seeing that universe slow down as liquidity has fallen tremendously in terms of exiting private equity investments. This has led to a secondary investment market in private equity, interest in private equity funds. But the real story is 2021 had tremendous exits. That means pensions, endowment funds were getting their money back. 2022 and 23, that's more than 50-60% down each year. That's a third story that we're following today, and it's the opposite of everybody wanted to be in the private equity business. Fourth, Foresight Ventures, a great biotech firm, is building a new $900 million biotech fund, and it's, again, a sign of the times that biotech is bouncing back. So that's our fourth story today. The fifth story today is really 2 things about litigation and legislation in the private equity world. One, the private equity sort of lawmakers keep on grandstanding and trying to fight or make noise about private equity, particularly private equity in healthcare. Second, a big lawsuit where a Welsh Carson anesthesia roll-up had been challenged by the FTC. Good news for the private equity industry. The judge in Texas tossed that court out last week and decided with the anesthesia roll-up, not with the federal government. We'll see how that goes. Again, these are 5 quick private equity stories we're following at Becker Private Equity and Business. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast.